Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the art session series. And today we're going to be doing sketch 4, I believe, out of 6 of this batch, where it's just black and white or black and white grayscale only, no colors, essentially one brush for all 6 sketches. And the time is about, let me just check my full time. 11, oh, it's closing 11:55. That's basically 12 minutes. So on average, I did like 10 minutes per sketch, which it's kind of new for me doing this in this format where I record from my iPhone. Because usually in the past 2 batches, yeah, some sketches would go for like 10, but usually it would be around like 5 to 7 minutes, around that range. So yeah, because my fear is when I paint or when I record with my iPhone, kind of within a stand in this sort of view, it could like heat up. So that's well, it happens too for like other kinds of cameras, but it's a concern of mine. But when I did my recordings for this batch, it didn't heat up like that much. So I'm not sure what I did there, but because eventually I want to be able to record stuff like for an hour, maybe like straight. I'm guessing because the camera is sort of, the recordings are split per sketch. Maybe that made things a bit easier. I don't know, but when I was doing this, I was like pretty, like I was doing one sketch, one painting after another. I mean, a mini tiny break, but not much of an actual break. So maybe in the future I'll see how my iPhone can take like a 30-minute recording, and then if it can take like a full 30-minute recording, then we'll see if it can go, oh my god, for a full hour, right? Maybe 2 hours or more than an hour, maybe a bit much, but I think 1 hour is possible. But anyway, so I think for this one, again, I was trying to make something up, but I think in this part of the video, I kind of realized it looked kind of similar to the first painting of this batch, the Spartan Greek warrior looking guy. So I tried to change something. I think I eventually made it more into like a hard surface thing. So it's either a guy in a hard suit or a mecha, hard to say. What's cool about this approach is if you follow like shapes, and if you focus on trying to come up with interesting shapes, that thing you're painting could be anything. It could be a creature, it could be a mech, it could be an environment, right? So it's all based on the fact that you made some nice interesting looking shapes. It's not just the shapes, but the relationship between those different shapes. When you're doing these types of like a random painting where you just try and come up with something, I think it's good to follow shapes more. I mean, sure, if you have an intention in mind, if you have an idea in mind already, sure, go for it. But I think it's also good to be able to paint from nothing, meaning you don't even know what you're trying to paint. You're just adding strokes down and trying to come up with something. And I think it has developed my confidence a bit, because I sort of know, like I'm used to having an open canvas where I don't know what to do, and my initial default sort of inclination is to just add some paint strokes, and it doesn't always turn out well, but when it does, I feel good. So I do try to savor those moments of like, where I actually accomplish something, or when I make something that looks somewhat decent. And even if you don't make something that specific, you get to practice your rendering skills, your painting skills. You get to learn a lot about how to use your brush. You can use this with the basic round brush, by the way. And I think the reason why I can sort of paint fast, for example, if you look at the way I color pick, one of you mentioned I don't often use the color wheel. I mean, I'll use it once in a while. I mean, I do use it regularly, but I don't use it for every stroke I make. I know how to color pick from the canvas itself. If I need something that drastic, perhaps a new hue that's not in the canvas, maybe I need to find quickly a very saturated version of that color that I'm painting in, then I'll use the color wheel. But the point is, I've learned how to paint within the canvas, just selecting the colors, the strokes that I've already painted with beforehand. Right, when you paint in this way, especially when your pen or brush has like pen pressure. Painting one stroke, you already have like the dark. If you press really hard and press really soft in one stroke, you already have like a full range of values from that one stroke. All you have to do is color pick from that. Artists I would recommend would be Feng Zhu, Anthony Jones. These people have like a good library of videos for you to watch, and once you see them paint, I think you're gonna have because they do paint directly. There are plenty of other artists to do this, but I think because they have so many videos outside or on YouTube, it's just easy to follow them and see how they actually paint. So I'm not sure what they did with the head, but it looks like, I'm not sure if that's some kind of exhaust system, or perhaps it's like a place for eyes or cameras to be, not sure, but I'm just trying to go for something that's interesting. I just tried to find shapes that seem interesting. I also tried to make it somewhat symmetrical, meaning what's on the left hand side is on the right hand side, roughly speaking. And that's something you could do as well. Not everything has to be like super crazy, you know. Just try to add a bit of symmetry in your work, and not in everything, but in some parts. And I think it's gonna make even your most random looking paintings have or look a little more stable if you have that sense of symmetry. And again, focus on big brush strokes. Don't try to do details too much. Maybe in some parts, maybe in certain corners to define like an edge, sure. But I think if you always have that like small brush mindset, I think it kind of slows down your painting a bit, especially if you're trying to explore ideas quickly and large ideas fast. It's gonna take too long with a small brush. So learn how to paint with a big brush. And by the way, when I paint, I have my other hand on the keyboard, so I constantly switch the size. Like sometimes I can go very big, sometimes I can go very small. And that's just how I'm used to painting. And I think it's the perfect sort of system for me anyway. And if you're a painter, you may have a similar approach like this. Like it's like a natural thing at this point. Like I'm not even thinking about it. Oh, and also, I think one day I decided to make the button of, because then I remember I was watching this like years ago, watching this episode by Feng Zhu, and I think the system was, I think the default key on Photoshop was like Alt, and Alt was like the color picker, which is fine. But I decided like one day it just sort of came to me like, why not make one of the buttons the lowest button on my like stylus pen? Because you often have two buttons, right? Why not make one of them the color picker? So in that way, I don't have to keep clicking Alt. And I think that one simple change has changed the way I paint. Right? I color pick from the screen very fast. Like it's just like I don't even think at this point, you know. So my recommendation, especially for this kind of painter, now I know for artists too, you know, they'll do like the sketch, and then they'll have another layer for like the final line art, and then they'll do the flats, and then they'll do the rendering. I think it may not be as useful for you because you don't switch colors too much. But if you're the painterly type, kind of like this, where you paint directly almost, I think you kind of have to do it. Constantly hitting Alt. If it works for you, it works for you. But try making one of the buttons. My recommendation would be the lowest button in your stylus pen. Make that the color picker, and see your painting speed improve. Like you will paint fast when you do this. I guarantee it. Now will you be completely fast? No, but you will be noticeably like, oh, like I'm pretty good. So anyway, that's it for this review or voiceover, and I'll see you in the next episode. But oh shit, we have a few more minutes. Oh my bad. I thought it was almost done. Do you see what I'm painting right now? It's not, I did mention in previous episodes, I'm not sure which one, that I'm way prouder of the first 3 of this batch than the last 3 sketches paintings. I'm not saying this one's ugly, but it just, I don't know, like I wasn't really finding anything. I mean, the head kind of looks like something, but I'm not sure what it is. And this happens when you paint. in this approach. Like some things, some ideas just don't really pan out. And at this point, maybe you may want to bring reference, but right now, obviously with my time limit, 10 minutes more or less, doing these sessions, I wanted to, I don't want to like think too much. I just want to follow the strokes. I think we can have sessions where we're a bit more deliberate. We can bring references in, we can slow down, we can be a bit more detailed in some parts. But I think those are much more suited for longer sessions. For stuff like these, I think it's good to like quick concepts, quick ideas. You want to just go for it. Do the best you can with the skills, with the knowledge you have, and just leave it as it is. And besides, again, you can always revisit these concepts, these ideas later on, and then you can, let's say you can pick this sketch and then do a longer session where, for 2, 3, 5 hours, who knows, and then you actually like flush it out, add some detail, adjust things, add color, But don't feel too bad if your quick sketches, your 10-minute sketches don't end up becoming like masterful paintings. Like relax for a bit. But yeah, I still enjoyed it. It was fun. But I did realize that hard surfaces is something, when I'm painting this way, is kind of hard for me. And I need to practice more, I guess. Maybe perhaps if I'm doing some kind of alien creature or organic looking mech, sure. But for like, think of a tank, like those types, I think I still need to use quite a bit of reference. I want to make it natural, by the way, to the point where I don't need to use reference. So it's something that I could study. So anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.